Around 2 p.m. on Sunday the 9th of August, Camden police were called to a property at Pheasants Nest after the owner reported that his dog had retrieved what appeared to be human remains. Bearing in mind the lateness of the day, local police attended and confirmed that they were human remains. Commenced to conduct a search of the area. Unfortunately, daylight, dusk fell, and we had to call the search off. It was recommenced the next day, Monday the 10th. About mid-morning, some further remains were located. The search continued during the day and was suspended at dusk. It's recommenced this morning and will be ongoing. An investigation has commenced by Camden Police in association with the Homicide Squad and Region Resources.
How long have the remains been there?
Look, we think the remains are about 2 or 3 days old, and that was as of Sunday. So we're now looking at quite a number of days old.
Do we have an idea of male, female, age, anything like that?
No, there's no indication as to the gender or the age.
Do the two separate sets of remains appear to be from separate, bodies, or is that not yet evident?
We can't confirm that at this stage.
So how many, can you just clarify how many, for two sets of remains, any more today? You haven't found any more today?
We haven't discovered any more today, no.
Where were the remains obviously found on the property? It's quite a large property.
You can appreciate it is quite a big property, and there's a lot of adjoining properties, but it was located within about a kilometre of the property.
The dog's brought part of the body back. Is there any suggestion that that part of the body was already separated from the others, or did the dog separate it itself, Jim? Is that evident?
Look, I'd rather not comment on that at this stage. You can understand that the investigation's only fairly young at this stage, so for operational reasons we probably don't want to give too much information on that part of the aspect.
Were any other items found near the remains?
No.
So any suspicious circumstances at this stage?
Definitely suspicious circumstances, yeah, and obviously that's why we've commenced an investigation, and we're working very closely with the Homicide Squad.
Did there seem to be any efforts made to conceal the remains?
Sorry, what's the question?
Did there seem to be any efforts made to conceal the remains?
Again, look, I'd prefer not to comment on that at this stage.
Forensics you've obviously begun forensics.
Forensics have processing what remains we do have, but again, as I say, at this stage it's inconclusive.
And Homicide have been called in, is that right?
Homicide are working with us, yes.
And you're obviously looking closely at missing persons list in the area.
We're going through all the missing persons to see if there's anything that's outstanding there that might give us a bit of a clue. But at this stage, we haven't found anything that jumps out at us.
No personal items, clothing, jewellery?
No.
Are there any murder investigations you're looking at as a result of these findings or re-examining?
Well, I suggested the fact that the Homicide are working with us would obviously give us a bit of a clue that we have some suspicions, and there are a number of leads that we're following up, but there's nothing specific at this stage.
You've obviously spoken to the owners of the property. Can you comment on their reaction?
Yeah, look, the owners, it's not every day that your dog comes back with human remains, so they're obviously quite upset about it for obvious reasons. But they've been fabulous, giving us every assistance, and we're very grateful for that.
Have they ever lived here long, do you know?
No, I don't know that.
Were the remains found fairly close to the house?
No.
Can you give us K, half a K?
Look, I'd prefer not to go into that at this stage, as I said, for operational reasons.
And at this stage you're thinking just one body?
Prefer not to say that at this stage.
How would you describe the property? Was it a bush block, or was there some kind of farming operation?
Look, it's obviously it's in the bushland, it's in thick bushland. Fairly inaccessible.
And if the dogs hadn't have found the body, if the dogs hadn't have found it, it may not have been found for quite some.
That's a possibility.
What breed of dog?
The owner's not 100% sure. It's a Bitzer. There's a fair bit of bull mastiff in it, so they're obviously they're hunting dogs.
What do you want to say to the public, Ian? Is there anything you appeal on that?
Look, we're probably appealing more to the locals at this stage because, as you can appreciate, given the remoteness of the property, it's probably more likely to be locals that may have some information, suspicious vehicles or any information that may tend to suggest that there's something out of the ordinary. It would appeal to the people to come forward and let us know.
Over what time frame? Are you talking a week ago, a few days ago?
I would suggest probably the last week.
What can you say about any injuries the remains or the bodies may have sustained?
Nothing at this stage. Yeah.
The dogs that found the body have they been helpful in perhaps locating the other remains yesterday or even today?
They've been tremendous.
Have police had them out
Tremendously helpful
on the property?
Yeah, we've been using the local dogs as well as our own. Yeah, they've been great.
And was it the local dogs that found the second lot of remains?
Yes. Yep.
How far apart, do you know how far apart the two sets of remains were?
Look, I'd prefer not to comment on that at this stage. Okay, there's not much else I can sort of give you at this
Could
stage.
you just give me the pronunciation of your name, please?
Foscholo.
Foscholo.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Superintendent Ian Foscholo. Thank you.
Thanks, ladies and gents.